Reflecting on Module 5, Shared Responsibility, the component that resonated with me the most, I would say, would have to do with the inquiry-based learning activity. So, within the context of my math classroom, developing inquiry-based lessons is still something that I'm still on the learning curve. So it's something that I certainly want to implement, and I know that it has a great deal of benefit for my students. But it's something that clearly I still need some work. So when I was researching implementing inquiry-based activities within the classroom, and I watched some videos on YouTube on how to do so, and one of the things I learned is that there's different tiers to inquiry-based learning. And one of the tiers, the initial tier, is the structured inquiry-based learning, where the teacher guides the inquiry. And ultimately, that is to be seen as a stepping stone, not the ultimate goal of inquiry-based. So in order to get my feet wet, that is how I designed my inquiry-based lesson in this project. And then based on my feedback, I feel like it maybe needs some work to so that it's not as structured. This is something that I need to work on because it's something I ultimately want to implement in my classroom. So one of the things this is an opportunity for me for growth, and I do have some ideas in terms of how to do this. Number one, I already know and am willing to admit that I'm not 100% comfortable with inquiry-based learning. My fears, which are fears of many educators, among people I even know, is that with inquiry-based learning in the math classroom, we've got so much curriculum to meet. And trying something new is a little scary because we're afraid to fall behind in the curriculum because everything is jam-packed. And if we misstep by one class, we're officially behind. And that's stressful. And it's something that we want to avoid. But at the same time, I know that inquiry-based learning has such great benefits for students. And I also know that if it's done right, you can potentially get more done in less time. I get that. But there's this curve that I'm on, and I need to learn while I'm on this curve. So I do have some ideas, and I'm aware of where I'm at right now with inquiry-based learning, and I definitely see my potential for growth. So number one, I feel I need to research this further. Number two, I want to talk to my colleagues. It's summertime. I'm not going to bombard them with education questions, although I get a lot out of collaborating with my colleagues. And I really like to bounce ideas back and forth between each other and learn from one another. There's a number of math teachers in my math department, and I really like to frequently visit all of them because they come from such different backgrounds, and they teach so differently, and they all have different ways of doing things. And when I come up with an idea, I just like to run it by them and see what they think, or get their ideas and things like that. I really get a lot out of the collaboration aspect when I'm learning something new with my colleagues. So I'm really looking forward to going back in September and throwing this inquiry-based learning idea and perspectives with my colleagues and seeing how, number one, what are they doing for inquiry-based learning? Number two, how are they doing it? How are they implementing it? And what do they do to avoid wasting time or falling behind in the curriculum? Or if they've even started at all. I'm not sure. So these are conversations I'm really looking forward to having, and then from those conversations I feel I'll have more opportunities in terms of direction in terms of where I need to then develop further, diving in deeper into particular research, or referring to somebody in my school board that could potentially help me, or help me and my colleagues with this. And then also, another step that I plan on taking to improve in this area would be to contact my mentor with my school board. So we have a mentor that we can contact at any time and book an appointment with her. And she'll come out to my school, and a substitute will be hired, and she'll help me with whatever I want. So I definitely want to have conversations with my colleagues first to gain more perspectives and see what they might be doing in their classrooms. And then I'm going to book an appointment with the mentor. And I really want to dive into this because I know that it has a lot of great benefits for my students. And this is something that I really care to do and do well. So these are some professional needs that I plan on embarking on in September going forward. So thank you for opening my eyes to this and my abilities. I certainly appreciate constructive feedback and being able to have the opportunity for growth and just knowing where I need to grow so that I have that sense of direction. So thank you. Bye-bye.